Once you're signed in, this is what you'll see. A panel on the left for your lists and the larger panel on the right for your tasks. The browser and the desktop apps offer a similar experience, so you should be able to follow along no matter what version you're using. But I'm using the Windows desktop version here. Let's talk about what we can see. Up here we have the lists that come with To Do, and these are called the Smart Lists, and they've been designed to help you organise your tasks. So when you add a task to the general task list here, it will also show up in one of these smart lists depending on the extra information you include. The smart lists are what makes To Do so useful, and we're going to look at all of these in this series and show you exactly how they work and how to use them. But for now, let's just make sure that you can see them all. The flagged email and the assigned to me lists are integrations with Outlook and Planner. If you can't see these lists and you would like to use them, then head over to your profile icon in the app, or in the browser, go to the Settings cog. Click Settings or Preferences on a Mac. Find the Connected Apps section and make sure Planner and flagged email are checked. Then find the lists and make sure that these 3 lists are checked: Important, Planned and Assigned to Me. If you want your completed tasks to show in one list, then check this too, but I prefer not to, as you can see your completed task in the task lists themselves. This last checkbox will hide any smart lists that don't have any tasks in them, but I like to leave this unchecked. Set that how you'd prefer. Below this line are your personal lists, and by personal I mean any that you've added for yourself, not necessarily ones that aren't work related. I've got a mixture here of lists for work and home. Nobody else can see your lists and tasks. These are all private unless you've intentionally shared them to manage them with other people. To share a list with somebody in your organisation, select it, and then you can either use the share button up here or you can right click the list. Then create the link. Again, the wording here might vary slightly across the different versions, but you can choose to invite via an email or you can copy a link. My preference is to copy a link because I can share that in a Teams chat. The link you create will only work for people who can sign into your organisation. If you want to stop sharing the list at any time, this is where you come to. You can also limit access from here. Once you've shared a list, you'll see this sharing icon next to it. This New List button is where you come to create a personal list. Click the button and name your list. This might work differently across versions too. You might type straight into the list name field on the left here, or the text field will be at the top of the task list on the right. When you've created your list, you can drag it up and down to reorder it like this. And if you want to rename it or get rid of it, then you can do that from the right click menu along with some other options. If you create a lot of personal lists, you might want to group them up to save space. To make a group, you can click the new group icon down here, give it a name, then return to enter. And then to add lists to this group, just drag and drop them in. Now I can expand and collapse this group with the arrow. And if I just quickly remove this list from the group with a right click, I'll show you another way. Right click the list and choose Move List To, and then you can pick the group you want to move it into. The right click menu is a bit different for a group. You can choose to rename, ungroup or add a new list. And if the group's empty, you can delete it from here too.